Ladies and gentlemen, let's Game Etc.com video. Let us discuss the Steam Christmas sale deals available on the 22nd of December. There's some absolutely awesome titles available. First one we're going to discuss is Max Payne 3, which is $4. That's 80% off, or also for 80% off you can buy the complete pack, which is basically multiplayer focused. So you get tons of multiplayer DLC, which honestly I never touched. I did, however, complete the single player version of the game, and honestly I really enjoyed it. Graphics are quite good for the PC for a PC port. There are some interesting gameplay mechanics. For example, the rather infamous by now slowdown of time, of course, makes its appearance, and all of it works quite well. It's all pretty tight. You can play it fairly well on mouse and keyboard without too much difficulty. In fact, aiming actually is probably a little bit easier on mouse and keyboard. There are a couple of things that save me giving this a complete free pass. It has a few issues, in my opinion, with some of the fights. They can be a little bit frustrating, particularly if you're not well armed when you go into them. Fortunately, if you do die a couple of times, the game does start giving you some help. For example, extra health packs or whatever. There are some issues as well when you do dives. Sometimes the physics can be a little bit off, and you can basically find yourself somewhat floating against the wall. It's not particularly bad, and it's by no means great game-breaking. Voice acting, storyline, everything else you'd expect are very tight in the game, which obviously is a Rockstar product, so that's just kind of par for the course. Overall, I'd really recommend this title. It is fun, it's action-packed, and honestly will get your adrenaline blowing. So, on a completely different vein to Max Payne 3, we have Dragon Age Origins, available in two versions. There's first of all $5 for the standard version, or $7.49 for the ultimate version. Both are 75% off. This one is pretty much a no-brainer. Definitely go for the ultimate edition. It just makes sense. You get a lot more DLC. You get, for a start, Origins Awakening, and that's a pretty hefty campaign by itself. You know, that campaign is bigger than most full titles in terms of time, so it's going to take you a long time to go through this. The main storyline of Origins alone is about 60 hours, but it could definitely be more if it's the first time you're playing it and you want to explore every single nook and cranny and conversational experience. Now, there are, of course, the rather infamous, do you want to go the good route or the bad route? I'm not going to weigh in too much on this because I'm going to take a lot of the videos up, but I honestly don't mind it. I think the moral choice system works fairly well. It has some issues, primarily in terms of balance, in my personal opinion. I find that if you organize your party in such a way, you can really become pretty damn powerful. Mages in particular are complete pains in the ass to deal with for the computer if it doesn't have certain setups, and I feel mages are maybe a bit too overpowered. There's also another class, I don't remember which one it was something warrior. But anyway, overall, I really enjoyed the game. Storyline's pretty damn great, as you'd expect from BioWare. So if you're interested in, say, Mass Effect, Knights of the Old Republic, Neverwinter Nights, and so on and so forth, then I definitely recommend you check it out. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is next on our list, and I'm pretty sure we can all agree that it's probably one of the more infamous titles. There are, of course, two versions of this available. One is $4.99 and one is $6.24. So the difference between all of these is you get a bunch of extra DLC, so it could well be worth picking up the deluxe edition. After all, it's only $1.24 more. They're currently 75% off. Now, this game has been highly modded. Obviously, it is the prequel to Skyrim, and honestly speaking, it is a pretty damn gorgeous game, even now. Sure, it does have some issues, mostly the fact with the voice acting. It does kind of piss me off that so many characters have so many of the same voices. In other words, the same voice actor pretty much, you know, might have been the barkeeper, but on the other hand, he might have also been the blacksmith. So you definitely notice that as you're walking through towns, which does help to break the immersion. Fortunately, there are quite a few mods which help to, at the very least, fix some of the facial issues in the game. They really do bug me, particularly the eyes. Combat is pretty tight, although it's not exactly the strong point of the game. The strong point of this game is definitely the exploration, and just the overall sense of immersion. I would recommend the game. It is pretty damn great. You will, of course, be losing many hours of your life should you choose to purchase it. Next title is Antechamber, which is 75% off, or $4.99 if you're paying US dollars. Now, I'm actually going to recommend something to you guys because there is no demo available for this one, and I'm being deadly serious. I'd really recommend you check my first impressions out on this if you're interested in it. Why? Well, no, I'm not trying to rinse views from you guys, but on a serious note, some people have actually been really affected by the graphical styling of this game. They actually feel really dizzy or nauseous. I don't know the percentage of people this affects, but some people just really get messed up, and even just watching it affects them. It is, however, a really cool game. So if you're interested in puzzle, say Portal type of games, it's definitely worth it. I played a good chunk of it, like 30-ish minutes, so just watch it for like 5-10 minutes to get an idea of, is this the type of game that you can, with the graphical style, would it bug you? Personally, it didn't affect me in the least. However, Amata, as you know, who co-runs the channel, she actually felt really nauseous, and she doesn't ever get affected by FPS, and she plays them, so I don't know what went on with that. So anyway, check out the video if that kind of thing worries you. It's a really good puzzle based FPS, however, pretty damn cool, great for what it does, and for the price it's more than worth it in my personal opinion. Next up we have Tomb Raider. So there are a couple of versions of this. First of all, there is regular Tomb Raider, which is $9.99 US dollars, $11.59 for the Survival Edition, or should you so wish, you can actually pick up the complete Tomb Raider, which is basically Legends, Anniversary, Underworld, blah 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 blah, for $13.99. That's 80% off, and you can also pick up a bunch of DLC as well, which is just ridiculously cheap. Mostly multiplayer focused, and a couple of small tombs in there. So I've done a first impressions of this, so you can check it out should you so wish. I actually really like this game. It's not perfect. It has a few issues, primarily with combat. I really wish that, as well, the survival aspect had maybe been slightly more emphasized. It's not bad or anything, but you do feel that the upgrades maybe could have made slightly more of a difference as you went through the game. Also, I felt that occasionally I kind of predicted the storyline a bit too well, pretty much verbatim. It's not that it's a bad game. It's not that it's badly written. It's just that you feel that possibly in certain situations they could have maybe gone with a slightly different direction. Nevertheless, it's a really good reimagining of Tomb Raider. As for the DLCs, I do feel that they could maybe have really just... I think they missed a lot of opportunity with the DLCs, honestly. I feel that they could have released a lot more larger tombs to explore and to actually enjoy, and I think that would have been something that definitely people would have bought rather than focus so much on the multiplayer aspect. Next up is Rogue Legacy, available for the princely sum of $4.94 US dollars. That's 67% off, which is a fairly odd number, but there you have it. So this game actually scores extremely well on Metacritic and so on. I can honestly say that I've never played it. Not for any other reason, not because it just didn't appeal to me, just because I missed it. It does look pretty cool. I understand that if you die, basically you'll be reborn as like your child, and then you get to continue on or something like that. So it does sound pretty interesting in terms of mechanics, and as I said, it does score pretty damn well. I'd recommend that you check out a couple of either YouTube videos or full written reviews who obviously know more about the title than me. Once again, I'm going to break out my favourite chestnut, can't play everything. Next one is The Witcher 2, Assassin of Kings Enhanced Edition, and there's also The Witcher Enhanced Edition. So both are available for 75% off, $4.99 or $2.49 respectively. First of all, let me go into a little bit of detail. Without the patch, the regular Assassin of Kings was really difficult. It made me die several times, and I actually raged quite a bit. But fortunately, an enhanced edition actually fixed some of this and is a little bit more newbie friendly. So like if you're just going in and you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on, haven't really played the game before, oh okay, never mind, I'm dead. It cuts a lot of that out. However, storyline wise, I would still recommend you play the original Witcher first. Bear in mind, and please note that this is one of those games you're either going to absolutely love or you won't be able to get into much, because it is a pretty hardcore RPG experience. That's not to say it's badly written or, badly implemented in terms of the way the characters progress or the storyline or whatever else. It's just a pretty hardcore RPG in my personal opinion, and I had a little bit of difficulty getting into this, but that's not being objective. I honestly do know this is a really high quality RPG, and I would definitely recommend that you check it out and see what you think. Oh, and by the way, if you're easily offended, you probably want to give this one a miss. Crusader Kings 2 brings up our second to last title. You know what? There is a demo available for this, and I've not played it. It's currently 75% off, $9.99. Never played the game. It scores fairly well on Metacritic. You're getting like the usual 7.5 to 9s out of 10. So the average is about 82 on most websites, including Metacritic itself. But I'm just going to say to download the demo, see what you think. I honestly have no idea about the game. I've never tried it in my life. Next up is, and finally, is Shadow Warrior. So there's two versions of this. One is the standard edition and one is special edition. Actually, I forgot about the special edition upgrade, but that's if you want to go for that. So 75% off, $9.99, $12.49, or if you want to upgrade to the special edition, that's $2.50. Honestly, I've not played this. I do know that, of course, it is a reimagining of the classic 3D Realms title. And basically, it looks kind of fun. Graphically, doesn't look too bad. I've not played it, so I can't really tell you if it's good or bad. I know that's pretty crappy, but hey, at least I've got to play most of them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I feel like I've blasted through them pretty damn well. Hopefully you found it interesting. If you've only got a few dollars and you're like, what the hell do I buy? I'm pretty broke. What do you get? Well, honestly, I would probably not buy Oblivion. I'd wait for Skyrim because it's the newer game, my personal opinion. If you're interested in puzzle, there's only one real option, Antechamber. If you're interested in action, well, Max Payne 3. It's a lot cheaper than Tomb Raider, even though personally I really love Tomb Raider. And either RPG, either Dragon Age or The Witcher are going to keep you going for absolutely ages. So, for example, you could easily get, say, Max Payne 3 and say Tomb Raider, and say Dragon Age. So Max Payne and Dragon Age, and you would have two completely different games that would last you for 100 hours plus, particularly if you got the version with Awakening. Anyway, that's a little bit of advice, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now.